I never realized how quickly grief could transform into something even heavier: betrayal. When my father died, it felt as though the ground beneath me had collapsed. Days blurred with condolences that did nothing to soothe the chaos inside, and nights stretched on with silence, pressing down like a weight I couldn't escape. I was a son lost without the man who raised me, simply trying to breathe through the darkness. While I was swallowed by mourning, my wife, Anna, was moving in a direction I never could have imagined. In those first weeks after the funeral, I wasn't angry or bitter. I was simply hollow. The world had tilted, and words failed me. She told me she understood. She held my hand during the service and whispered, "Take all the time you need." I believed her. I trusted that marriage meant standing side by side, even when one of us was too broken to stand at all. But slowly, something began to change. She was gone more often, meeting friends, shopping, running errands that seemed endless. When she was home, she seemed distracted, her phone lighting up far too often. I convinced myself it was nothing. That grief was making me suspicious. I told myself I was just imagining cracks where none existed. Until the night I couldn't deny it anymore. I went to get a glass of water and saw her phone left on the counter, unlocked. A message lit up the screen, a man's name I didn't recognize, followed by words that ripped deeper than loss itself. "I love how you say he's too lost in his own sadness to notice us." The glass slipped from my hand, shattering across the floor. The crash woke her. She rushed in, eyes widening as she saw me standing there, her phone in my hand, the message still glowing. I didn't scream. I didn't break down. I simply asked the one question that mattered. "Why?" Her lips trembled, but not with guilt. There was something almost offensive in her expression, like she'd been waiting for this. "David," she said softly, "you haven't really been here. I felt alone for months." The word struck me harder than the message itself. Yes, I had been distant, but not by choice. I was grieving, struggling under the weight of losing my father. Instead of seeing my silence as pain, she saw it as absence, as permission to seek comfort somewhere else. "You call that an excuse?" I whispered. "My father had just died, Anna. I was mourning, and while I was drowning in loss, you were with another man." Tears filled her eyes, but they looked practiced, not raw. "You don't understand. I needed someone who would listen. He was there when you weren't. I never planned for this to happen." It wasn't just a betrayal that crushed me. It was how easily she twisted my pain into her defense, as if loyalty only mattered when life was simple. I sat down, my chest tight, memories of our life together flooding in, the vows we spoke, the nights we whispered about the future, the promises of forever. And now, forever had been traded away for convenience. "Who is he?" I finally asked, though part of me dreaded the answer. She hesitated, then said quietly, "His name is Mark. We met through work." It started as just talking. I didn't mean for it to go further, but it did. I cut her off, my voice breaking. "While I buried my father, you buried our marriage." Silence fell heavy between us. She looked down, unable to meet my eyes. And in that silence, I felt something inside me snap. Not just trust, but the foundation of everything I believed love to be. The days that followed were a storm. The house itself seemed to whisper reminders of loss. Not just my father, but the woman I thought would stand beside me through anything. I could still hear her words echoing in my head, her excuse sharp and cold. "You were unavailable. There was no point in arguing." She wanted to be seen as a victim, to make me believe that loneliness excused betrayal. But love isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up even when it's hard. And she chose to leave me when I needed her most. One night she reached for me, tears running down her face. "David, please, don't throw us away. We can fix this." I looked at her, really looked, and I didn't see the woman I had married. I saw someone who had weighed my suffering against her own desires and chosen herself. My voice was steady when I answered. "No, Anna. I'm not the one who threw us away. You did. I buried my father. Now I'm burying the illusion that you ever truly loved me." Her face crumpled, but inside me, something shifted. For the first time since discovering the truth, I wasn't drowning. I was rising. That night, I packed a small bag. Not out of anger, but out of clarity. Some betrayals don't demand revenge. They demand distance. As I closed the door behind me, I realized I wasn't just walking away from her. I was walking back to myself. Weeks later, standing at my father's grave, I finally whispered the words I hadn't been able to before. I lost you, Dad. And I lost her, too. But maybe I found something in the wreckage. The wind moved gently through the trees, carrying fallen leaves across the grass. And for the first time in months, I felt lighter. Pain has a way of burning away illusions, leaving only truth. Anna wanted me to believe her betrayal was my fault, that grief excused her choices. But I know better now. I didn't walk away broken. I walked away rebuilt. Sometimes the deepest betrayal isn't losing someone. It's realizing you deserve far more than the excuses they gave for leaving you behind.